So our next change that we have to make involves using the local database and specifying a name for the database. And this is also a change to webconfig. If you added authentication, you do not need to make this change because you are already going to have code for this. Okay, the only thing you'll probably need to adjust is the name because the name is going to say default connection. Okay, and you're probably going to want it to say whatever the context is here. Okay, but the rest of it, it's going to indicate what the database name is, and the rest of it is pretty well set. Now, in our application, we did not turn on authentication. And partially the reason we did that is so that you guys could walk through this process. So we're going to copy the connection string here. This goes above app settings. So I'm going to come over here. I still have webconfig open. To find app settings up at the top. Here it is. So right above it, I'm going to paste. So school context is right. Cantasso University 1 is fine. And now I'm going to save my changes. And let me just quick run a build. Okay, so again, if you added authentication, this is already going to be there. And you don't want two of them because that's going to create all sorts of problems. You only want one. Okay, so you are going to want to change the name, okay, if it already exists. So what happens here is Entity Framework ends up using the local database. In this case, the name of the database is Cantasso University 1, and it automatically throws an MDF extension. And if that database isn't there yet, the minute you try to access data, it generates it. Now, you could give it a path, which would put the database in the app data folder. We're not going to mess with that. We're just going to let it go into the default.